not me becoming a beauty influencer. So guys, let's talk about skincare. My skin is definitely one of my biggest insecurities, physically speaking. I have very sensitive skin. My skin is very reactive if I have the wrong foods, like if I have too much greasy food, too much dairy, one too many drinks the night before, it shows up pretty quickly the morning after on my face, particularly right here. These porous regions right next to my nose, it'll show up and I'll get, I'll break out and I'll get irritated skin very easily. So over time, over the years, I've learned to really prioritize my skincare and implement these little rituals that really have had a long-term effect on my skin. Now, of course, living in Miami has helped in general. I think even just like the moisture in the air because it's such a humid climate, going to the beach, obviously, just being more fit and more athletic. Of course, all those things affect your general health, so they affect your skin as well. But I do think that these skincare routines that I've started introducing into my life have really helped, and my skin, honestly, I think is the best it's ever been. Much better than it was in my early to mid 20s living in New York City. And even as a teenager. As a teenager, I had a lot of acne and I didn't know all these things. Frankly, didn't do anything really to take care of my skin. So I want to share with you guys the tips and tricks that I've picked up on. I am by no means an expert or a skincare guru, but I figured I would share these with you in case you're looking for little things that you could implement yourself to have a long-term effect on your skincare. So as I mentioned, as a teenager and well into my 20s, I wasn't even washing my face. Of course, in the shower, my face would get a rinse every day, and I guess any residue from like shampoo would fall onto my face, so that in a sense was unintentional face wash. But I never specifically bought any face wash for my face, because I didn't know that I needed to do it. Like, nobody told me, I guess. And I feel like this is something that happens with boys a lot. Like, nobody prepares us for taking care of ourselves physically. I feel like girls from a young age prioritize these things, or maybe their mothers tell them. Nobody was telling me anything, but one thing that my grandmother did tell me, because she had been a nurse and I had acne-prone skin, she would always tell me, don't touch your face. Our hands are full of bacteria. Acne comes from bacteria. Don't touch your face. Whatever you do, don't touch your face. So I specifically would avoid touching my face. Even in the shower, I just wouldn't like proactively wash my face. I think that there was truth to what she was saying, by the way. I do think that you shouldn't pick at your face when you think about how many hands you shake, how many doorknobs you touch, even just touching your phone, right? We do have bacteria everywhere. But in retrospect, I think especially if you have oily skin like I do, I have very oily skin, which of course helps make it acne prone. I think a face wash is essential, especially also if you live in a very humid, moist climate like Miami. A face wash is necessary to take care of the oil on your face. So I would say around my mid-20s, I started buying body washes that are a 2-in-1 body wash and face wash. So literally just your average CVS, Dove, men's care products. This is what I use in the shower, and I feel a difference when I use it. My skin is just less oily. In fact, when I travel, of course I don't travel with that huge bottle from Dove. When I travel, if for let's say 3 days I don't have anything to specifically wash my face with, I feel a difference. Like, I feel a buildup on my face of that oiliness. So it's definitely useful, and if nothing else, it moisturizes your face in the shower. But so now when I travel, to avoid that issue, if I don't have any kind of face wash with me, or if they don't have anything specifically for your face, let's say at a hotel, I now carry Burt's Bees facial wipes when I travel. And again, I feel a difference using these. It's crazy what you see on the wipe after a long day in terms of like dirt, pollution, what do you call it? Like debris buildup, residue buildup on the wipe itself. That in itself tells me how essential it is to take care of your skin. Even just a wipe intended for the face. There's just so much accumulated that maybe wasn't relevant, by the way, like hundreds of years ago, but just today with everything around us, especially in terms of like pollution and stuff. If you live in a city, I think it's essential to make sure that's cleaned off before you go to bed. Now, some of you guys know that I love to take baths. I'm a runner, so I take a lot of salt baths because bath salts allegedly they have healing. It's not 100% clear, honestly, and I'm not sure how effective it is, but I do it just for the sake of the ritual and for the aromatherapy. Bath salts are good for your muscles, for like inflammation and stuff like that. While taking these baths, I would say about 6 months ago, maybe a little bit more than that, I started using these face masks. There's a ton of different brands out there, but this is the one that I've specifically been using, because they're so cheap. I want to say for a pack of like 30, it's about $20. So you basically pay less than $1 per face mask. And these are collagen masks. They have collagen in them. So collagen is something that is often used in skincare routines because they essentially take care of your skin health and skin cells. They say there's like rejuvenating elements to collagen. And I have to say, I don't know if it's a placebo effect. I don't know if it's a combination of all the other things I'm doing for my skin, but I feel like the last 4 months or so, I've seen a significant difference in just the youthfulness of my skin and how much it like radiates when I look at myself in the mirror. So, you know, if you're just sitting in the bath anyway, like I do, you might as well use it. It can't hurt you. And of course, there's the nice aspect of like the aromatherapy. It feels good on your skin. So I do all these things, and honestly, the final thing that I do that is relatively new for me, believe it or not, is lotion for my face. Because I have naturally very oily skin, I'm one of those people, I very rarely need lotion. My skin just, I guess, luckily stays hydrated on its own. I guess that's one benefit of having oily skin. I have a friend of a friend who works at this skincare boutique. Like all their products are and all their services are purely for skincare. And she was telling me that she can tell from my skin that I don't use sunscreen as much as I should, and that sunscreen is something, especially living in Miami, you should put on every day. And I'm one of those people, I only wear sunscreen, honestly, when I go to the beach. Like when I have a reason, when I'm like, I know I'm gonna be out in the sun, but the reality is living in Miami, I'm out in the sun every day. I just don't think to put on sunscreen if I'm walking to lunch or something, right? Or just going for a walk to the park. So recently I've been taking this more seriously. And I bought, I never know how to say this, CeraVe? I never know how to pronounce it. It sounds like some kind of cuisine, like esoteric cuisine. But I bought the AM and PM versions of this lotion. I bought them on Amazon. The AM version is for the morning. So basically when you get up in the morning, you put it on, and it has sunscreen built into it so that you're protected when you're out in the sun for the whole day. And then the PM version is like a nighttime cream for your skin. So I will put this on after a shower, the AM one before I step outside, and the PM one, of course, before I go to bed. There's so many face creams and lotions out there, so it's kind of difficult to figure out what to pick, what to trust, what is effective. But I like using this brand because it's dermatologist approved or whatever, dermatologist recommended. So these are the products that I trust for my skincare. I have noticed a difference in my skincare over the last few years, but specifically even more so, I would say the last 4 to 6 months. And I assume that it comes from a combination of doing all these things to protect my skin. And what I found is, much like brushing your teeth or flossing, right? These are things that the more you keep doing it, the less it feels like a chore, and the more it just becomes a part of your daily routine. And I think it's important to find these little things that become just a part of your regimented routine to take care of yourself. The girl who I mentioned who works at that boutique was saying that this is the age, meaning like 20s and 30s, where you really need to start proactively, preventatively taking care of your skin. We take it for granted. She was saying people don't take care of themselves. And you have to take care of your skin because it's getting exposure every day to, again, pollutants out there, sunlight, and so on. If you guys have any other tips and tricks that you have found to be very beneficial towards your own skincare, I would love to hear about them in the comments.